Good afternoon. I'm Marie Saavedra. What was supposed to be a monumental day in America quickly spiraled out of control. It started as thousands of people protesting President Trump's election loss until they flooded the U.S. Capitol steps and then breached the building. At least one woman was shot inside the Capitol and several officers were injured. It has been a surreal sight. We have live coverage from D.C. where police and rioters used tear gas several times today. We want to show you this picture from outside the U.S. Capitol. The sun has gone down and a citywide curfew is going into effect right now in D.C. We have seen over the past hour police using flashbangs to break up the remaining crowd. The protesting took a violent turn about 3 hours ago. Congress was in the middle of counting the Electoral College votes when they were told to duck under their chairs. That right there was the moment. Senators, Congress members, and staff hearing that pounding, and they then saw rioters outside of the doors of the Capitol building. You can see the mob through the windows of that door. They would burst through moments later. And there you see rioters smashing windows at the Capitol, climbing inside before roaming the halls.
They want us down.
Get down. That was the call inside Capitol chambers. The target of this mob who wanted to shut down the Electoral College certification. We now want to go to CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov, who spoke minutes ago to a local lawmaker in the middle of that chaos. Dana.
Yeah, you know, Marie, those first-person accounts are really something to hear. I spoke with Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley just a few minutes ago by phone. He is still bunkered with a lot of other lawmakers who were actually in the House at the time all of the violent protesters stormed the Capitol. Hearing what he had to say is certainly compelling. I spoke with other lawmakers, too, who were not there, but who are, of course, very concerned and alarmed by what happened today, and many of whom blame the president for the violence.
We're seeing protesters overcome the police.
As violence erupted outside and then inside the nation's capital,
They broke the glass.
Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley was in a House balcony.
We hear shouts, noise from outside, and then they start evacuating a few others. They barricaded the doors.
A few minutes later, Capitol Police gave lawmakers further instructions.
Lay flat, crouch down, move to the corners. And then you see that picture that they've barricaded the main entrance to the floor, the door that the president comes in for the State of the Union. And they put a cadenza in the way, a chairs, desk. It was tragic comedy.
What were you thinking at this moment?
Sort of what to do next. And concern for my colleagues, they were remarkably calm. The Capitol Police were awesome, brave.
Other Illinois congressmen not at the Capitol reacting to the unprecedented siege, calling it mob action, which occurred hours after President Donald Trump spoke to many of the same violent protesters outside.
President Trump should not have given that speech this morning. It was extremely shrill. It was a call to charge the Capitol.
It's so unbelievable. You just wouldn't think that this was the United States of America, but it is. And somehow or another, sane, sensible, rational minds have to prevail, and we have to get ourselves back on track.
This is what mob rule looks like, and it's un-American. This mob action will delay our constitutional duty, but it will not stop it. The responsibility for this really lies at the foot of every politician who, over the last decade or more, has tolerated lies and threats of violence and failed to speak out against it when it happened.
And to that point, just a few minutes ago, Congressman Mike Quigley saying his main goal today is to get back to the House floor and take that election certification vote to move the country forward. Other lawmakers saying, though, what is happening today is definitely an indication that there needs to be a deep, serious discussion about how our country moves forward after all of this. Marie?
Certainly, and Dana, some good news for you before I let you go. Congressman Quigley will meet that goal. We have heard that Congress does plan to resume that Electoral College certification later tonight. Dana, thank you so much. President-elect